Hi everybody. I think this is a follow-up video from my last video on how to manage and handle interviews, job interviews that is. So there are basically three stages in that whole scenario. That's before the interview stage, at the interview, and post-interview. So let's focus a little bit more on before the interview. Now the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you reach out to enough people so that you have a lot more chances of attending job interviews and hopefully then landing a job. Now, unfortunately, what some of you do is you do this cold calling enormously. It's like everywhere. So I get CVs in my message box, and I don't know why anybody thinks this is a good way of landing a job. I don't wake up in the morning expecting to have someone send me a CV for a job that I wanted someone to hire for. So you should not be doing that. I think what you need to do is you need to use LinkedIn properly. So what you have to do is you need to target the companies that you think you want to work for. Then you need to look at the people who are working in the right places in that company on LinkedIn, and then start striking a conversation with that person. And before you do that, what you need to do is basically find out something about that person which is mentioned in his or her profile. Places that they have visited in the recent past, their likes, their hobbies, their career growth, even their schools in which they went and graduated from. Who knows, probably you might find something very striking or similar to you. And you can use that when you talk to that person on your LinkedIn profile. Now, if you develop a conversation with people, then they will be more inclined towards thinking about you. If you just send them a CV, that doesn't work. So first strike up a conversation by finding out something about this person, and then trying to have a few days of a good conversation about some of these things that you've understood about this person. The other thing is, most of you never change your CV. It's like one document that goes to anybody and everybody on the planet. Well, people, it's not your election poster that cannot change. This is a CV that should change. So every time you look at an opportunity where you think you want to apply for, I suggest you take the time to fine-tune your CV to match exactly what is being asked for. All right, everything else you can tone it down so that the person looking at the CV is impressed and has found focus and objective in your CV. Whenever you go for an interview, you get an interview call and you've been asked to come for an interview, the first thing you need to ask is, who am I going to meet? And they will tell you, you'll meet the HR, or you'll meet head of finance, or you'll meet the CTO for whatever job that you applied for. Now again, go back to social media, go to LinkedIn and check about this person. Go to Facebook, find out what this person does. You need to do enough research before you attend interviews so you're comfortable with the person that you're going to meet. Again, who knows? The person you're going to meet was actually studying in your school. So that's a good reason for you to change him off his script during the interview and tell him, hey, do you know what? You and I went to the same college. And the guy would go like, oh, really? Which year was that? So you've now got his interest away from his regular script of trying to interview you to appreciating who you are because you both went to the same school. So do these kind of things to give yourself a much better position than the rest of them when you go for interviews. Now, when you're preparing for interviews, again, focus a little bit more on your tone, your voice quality. All right, some of you are a little too soft, some of you are a little too sweet, and some of you, I just can't hear you. You actually think that the interviewer should read your mind. We can't. So what you need to do is you need to practice your voice tone at home in front of the mirror and check whether what you're saying makes sense. Can it be audible enough for someone else to hear? Then what you are saying should also make sense. So the content of what you say should be practiced and rehearsed so many times. When somebody asks you this beautiful $1 million question, so why did you leave your last job? And everybody goes like, well, for a better career, for more growth. But do you know, everybody says the same thing. You need to have a real answer. Imagine if you said, well, I wanted to contribute and the company expected me to just work hard. And I believe where I work, I should contribute. Working hard is a part of it, but if I can't contribute, then I really don't think I can grow, and that's why I left. So you need to personalize your answers a little bit more and practice those, because those questions keep coming to you every interview. So here's what you do. You basically work on your CV. You make sure your LinkedIn network is worked on and not just cold called all through the season. Make sure when you get an interview call, you ask who you're going to meet, and then research that person and find something that you may know something about on that person that you can use during the interview itself. And then practice your voice tone and your answers. I hope this helps you guys who are looking for jobs out there. I wish you guys all the best.